All right, welcome to our Google Docs class. My name is Sabrina, the Plano Public Library. I want to thank you for joining us for today's program. Please note that your microphone and video have been turned off. If you have any questions, you can type them into the chat. Stephanie will be monitoring the chat to assist you with any issues and bring questions to my attention. We will also be sure to leave time for questions at the end of each section and at the end of the program. Some housekeeping reminders we'd like to share with everyone. Note that this program is being recorded and will be made available on the Plano Public Library YouTube page for later viewing. Soliciting in business or selling merchandise during library virtual programs is prohibited. Please show respect for our presenters and one another throughout the program. All right, so let's go ahead and we will start on our program for Google Docs. Let me go ahead and move on through here. Okay, so Google Docs. It is a free word processing application, web-based for creating text documents similar to Microsoft Word. So you can create and edit documents using your web browser or the mobile app, although today's class we're focusing on the web version. Common uses include creating work documents like notes and reports, job search documents like resumes or cover letters, or writing like outlines and manuscripts. You must have a free Google account to utilize Google Docs. You can either log into your account directly through Google Docs, or you can access it through your Google Drive homepage. If you'd like to follow along, feel free to log into your own personal Google account. So we have several objectives for today's class. We're going to explore how to create documents from scratch by using templates and by importing existing files from programs like Microsoft Word. We'll explore things like changing your font size and color, copying and pasting information, creating lists, and adjusting your page margins. We'll explore how to copy, rename, and move files and restore deleted files. We'll explore how to print, download, and email completed files. And we'll explore how to add additional users to your document so you can collaborate in real time or you can share comments with others. I'll be accessing everything we need today from my Google account. Your documents do save automatically in the cloud while you're working, so you don't have to worry about hitting save. And the documents that you create are accessible from any device with internet access that you log into. Okay, let me go ahead and switch here to our Drive page. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and we will start with just generally creating and importing files. You can easily create documents either in Drive or in Google Docs here. So to create a blank document from the Drive homepage, you just have to make sure that you are signed in. You can see that we're signed in here. You just click New on the left-hand corner here, and you can choose Google Docs, and you just want to say that you're creating a blank document. You can do a similar thing if you're logged into Google Docs here. You can just click on blank right here. You might also want to work from an existing template. Templates provide some basic formatting and structure already on the page. So you usually do want to replace the placeholder text with your own information. So as you can see, we have a template gallery right here at the top. It does offer multiple options. So you can click Template Gallery here to show you more options. It has options for resumes, letters, personal things, all sorts of stuff. So to create one of those files, you would just choose what you want, maybe a recipe. You just click on it and it will create the new file for you in the template you've selected. You can do something similar in the Google Drive homepage. When you click New here and you go to Google Docs, you can select from a template and it will do something very similar. If you do have an existing file, like a Microsoft Word document or a PDF, you can also import and convert that file. Do be aware that converting a file may cause some loss of formatting or other changes. So I have, for example, a PDF here, but if you're uploading, when you click new, you can just click file upload right here, and you would just navigate to what you want to upload on your computer. Let's say one of these, we'll pick this one, preparing a resume. We just click open. There we go, upload complete. It shows up in our list here. And then you can choose to open the file as is, or if you want to convert it to something that you can edit, you can see the more actions right here. And you see open with, and if you open it in Google Docs, it will automatically convert it for you into something that is editable. We'll just wait for a moment here for it to finish up. There we go, and we can see that this PDF is now editable. All right, so maybe you want access to documents that you've already created, you've already been working on. You can do this from the Google Drive or the Google Docs homepage. So let me go ahead and I will close this. When we're on Google Drive, you can see the folders will appear first if you have any folders, and then files. They can be sorted by name here as they're sorted right now. And I can sort to reverse the direction here. They can also be sorted by when they were, if they were modified by me or someone else. You just choose the document that you would like to open. We can go ahead and we can click recipe here. I will click on that and it will open. Here we go. And as you can see at the top here of Google Drive, it will show suggested documents at the top. If you have multiple, the suggested documents are usually those that you've accessed recently. If you have any documents that you have starred as important, if you see on the left-hand side here, where it says My Drive, Computers Shared with Me, etc., there is an option for just starred items, and it will show you only the items that you've starred as most important. All right, if you are in Google Docs, we go back here, you can click on Docs Home. There we go. These will show only the documents that have been opened in Google Docs. So only the ones that are editable here. So if you wanted to open any of these files, you can click on the three little dots. Sorry, you can click on just the file here and it will open. And there we go. These documents are generally organized by which ones have been opened last. Are there any questions about creating documents, importing documents, accessing your files? All right. Okay. So navigating a little bit of the platform. So when you open a new document, so we'll just click blank here, you will just see a blank document screen. There will be a cursor right here. It looks like it's done a little pop-up here, so we're gonna dismiss that real quick. Okay, we see a blinking vertical line where you can type, and the cursor moves along to the right as you type. It will automatically move the cursor and to the end of where you have last been typing. If you want to start a new paragraph, you just press enter, and that moves to a new paragraph here. If you look at the top left corner of your screen, you can see options to rename your file. So right now it's just untitled documents. So you can name it whatever you would like. I'm just going to type in practice. That is now the name of our file. You can see a star icon. Those are the ones that will show up in the starred folder. You can also see a folder icon here. You can move it into different folders to organize all the documents you have. And this little cloud icon will show you the sync status of your document. So if there's a little check mark, as we see right here, that means that all your changes have been saved. All right, below that we have the menu toolbar. That shows the various menus for working with your document. So we'll just look through those real quick. This is File. It includes options like emailing and downloading your document, as well as page setup options. Edit includes commands like copying, pasting, undoing. If you look at View, it includes options related to how your document and screen appear while you work. Insert includes commands like adding in images or tables to your document. Format has commands that adjust how text appears in your document, like columns and bulleted lists. Tools includes things like the spelling and grammar check that can be used while you're creating your document. Extensions includes if you have any add-ons that you have installed with Google Docs. We won't be covering that today in today's class. And help is access to Google's help information. We also have below that the shortcuts toolbar, which includes the most commonly used features in Google Docs. You can use these buttons instead of navigating through the full menus, which can save time. You can hold your mouse over each part of the toolbar to see information on the function of each button here. Are there any questions about navigating or finding things in Google Docs? Okay, great. All right, adding and formatting text. So to add text to your document, as you've seen, you just click on the page and you start typing. Remember, Docs periodically saves your work as you're editing. If you're working with a template, you can just select the text that you want to replace and just type over it. So let's go ahead and we'll add in. All right, this is a sample document right here. So we're going to look at some options for customizing this text. So to change the font, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to highlight this first word here, type. I just click and drag over it. And then we can choose the font name right here, right here it says Arial. That is the type of font it is. We can see that we have multiple options here. So I'm just going to change it to Pacifico. There we go. And we can see that this is a different font now from the rest that's in the document. You can also change the text color. So I'm going to highlight this word now. And if you look here, you can see the text color button. And we're going to select a new color. Let's go ahead and we'll make it purple. There we go. And as you can see, this is now purple text. You can also add highlighting if you're going through and you want to make sure that a certain part of your text stands out. So let's go ahead. I'll just highlight the word sample here. So again, I just click and drag. And then the highlighter is this little highlighter icon here. And we'll just do a standard highlighter color of yellow. All right, I click off of it. And as you can see, the word sample is now highlighted. You can also change how your text looks by applying different formatting to it. So let's go ahead and type in just a couple more words here. Okay, so first let's go ahead and we'll take a look at bold. So I'm going to click and drag to highlight bold. And then in the shortcuts toolbar here, we have the B for bold. And we click off of it, and we can now see that that text is bolded. You can also use the shortcut on your keyboard if you would like. You can hold down the control button and press B, and that will bold or unbold your text. For italics, it is very similar. You can use the I here, and that makes your text italicized. Similarly, you can do Control I, and that will change whether or not your text has italics. Underlined here, again, right next to the other two, we just click it and our text is underlined. You can also use Control U, and that will determine whether or not your highlighted text is underlined. You might also want to change your text size or apply a formatting style like a header for if you have multiple paragraphs. So let's go ahead and type in text size and style. And as you can see, since I started on underlined and then started a new paragraph here, it kept the underlining. So I'm going to highlight that and get rid of the underline. Okay. So I'm going to highlight just the word size. And you can see right here, we have the font size as 11. You can either press the plus or minus buttons to change the size, or if you like, you can click on the number itself and you can pick a number from the dropdown right there. And as you can see, you can change the size pretty significantly from that. But if you would like, you can also change the style. So maybe you want something to be normal text and something to be a header. So we can go ahead and separate that. And we're going to highlight this text here. And right now it says normal text under styles here up at the top in the toolbar. If we click on that, we can see options for a title and different sizes of headings. So we're just going to pick apply heading 1 right here. There we go. And the difference here is that this is now considered a heading. If we look over at the left corner here where it says show document outline, it will show the words and style as part of our outline because that is a header. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and click the arrow to close that. All right, are there any questions about changing the way that the text looks? Okay, awesome. All right, so while you're working with your document, you might find that you want to repeat some of the same text, but you don't want to type it over again. You can use the copy and paste commands to duplicate content in your document. So let's go ahead and say we want this is a sample document to be in another part here. So I've highlighted this. From the menu, you can choose edit and copy, or as you can see here, Control-C on your keyboard. And then let's go ahead and we will press enter a couple times for a new paragraph. Maybe we want to paste it down here at the bottom. We choose edit again and then paste, or you can use Control and then V on your keyboard. And then it pastes the copied text right where your cursor was. You can also do a right click. So I will go ahead and I'm going to highlight the word new. And then if I click with my right mouse button, it gives me some of the same options here. So I can copy. And then if I come down to the bottom and then right click again, and I can click paste. And there we go. So now we have the pasted word new at the bottom. And as I mentioned, you can also use the keyboard shortcuts Control-C for copy and Control-V for paste. Now, if you want to move text within your document, but you don't want it to be duplicated, you can cut and then paste. So that moves the text completely from one location to another. So similarly, we will highlight this here and we go to the edit menu and we use the cut option. That one is Control-X on the keyboard. So we cut that and then we can move it to a different part of our document and go back to the edit menu. And then again, paste. And that completely moves it from one part of the document to the other. You can do the same thing here if you highlight something and right click with your mouse button. The cut option is also part of that menu. So you can cut and then move to another part of the document and right click and paste. This also does give you the option, as you may have seen, paste without formatting. So if we just do paste, it will show the word size right here. If we right click and then we do paste without formatting, it will not show with a different size text. It will just be the normal text, Arial font, regular font size 11, as the document started with. All right, let's say you made a mistake and you need to undo some of the work that you've done. You can either use a keyboard shortcut or again, the edit menu here with the undo. That is Control Z on your keyboard. So if we press undo, it will undo our last action. So that got rid of our last paste of the word size. And then if we say, oh, I didn't actually want to undo that, you can redo the option here under the edit menu, which is Control Y. And it brings back what you undid. Were there any questions about that? Okay. All right. So in addition to just some blocks of text like we've been making here, you might want to create lists, bulleted or numbered. So you can create lists by either applying that formatting before you start typing or by applying it to lines of text you already typed out. So from the menu, let's say that we have a new paragraph here. We go to Format. We can look at bullets and numbering. And then we can choose the style of list that we would like. So let's go ahead. We'll just pick a bulleted list menu. And it does give you options for how that looks as well. We'll just choose the first one. And as you can see, it starts off with our one bullet point here. And then as you press enter, it will create continued bullets. From the shortcuts toolbar, so let's go ahead and we'll select this option up here, this little paragraph. And as you can see in our toolbar here, we have the bulleted list option. We can just click that button. And now all of our different lines in the paragraph are made into a bulleted list. All right, once you've created a list, you can also customize how those bullets appear. So you can right-click on the bullet, and it will show you options for how you want that to look. So maybe we want to change these ones to little stars. And that will change the entire list into stars, but not every list in the document, just the one that you have right-clicked on. You can also go to this option here. Under our bulleted list button, there's a little arrow, and it shows us different options for how our list can look. And so we can change this one maybe to squares. And there we go. Now we have some squares here. All right, a numbered list is very much the same. So as we press enter a few times, two, okay. We just go to our menu here, Format, Bullets and Numbering. And again, it has our numbered list menu. And then it starts our bullets. We can also go again here to the shortcuts toolbar right here. We can hover over the numbered list button and press that. And that also creates a numbered list. So you can customize it the same way that you customize a bulleted list by right-clicking on the bullet and then changing what you would like it to start with. Or from the shortcuts toolbar here next to our numbered list. And you can see the options there as well. So maybe instead of numbered, we want it lettered. There we go. All right, are there any questions about the checklists? Okay. All right, so setting up a paragraph. There are different ways to set it up, including line and paragraph spacing, the alignment of your text, your indentation, and different things like that. Your line and paragraph spacing refer to how much space there is between the individual lines of text and the separate paragraphs in your document. I'm going to pull up a slightly different document here for this, just to make sure that you can really see the differences. Okay, so we pull up our recipe template here. Okay, so to change the spacing from the menu, you can highlight the text you want to edit. Maybe we'd like to highlight these paragraphs here. And you can go to Format and choose Line and Paragraph Spacing. So this shows you the space between the different lines here for the options at the top. Let's go ahead and go with maybe double spacing between the lines. And as you can see, that spaces them out significantly more. You can also change the spacing from the shortcuts toolbar. So we'll leave our text highlighted here. And then we want the line and paragraph spacing icon, which, there we go, line and paragraph spacing right here. We click on that and the same menu right here. So let's go ahead, we'll change it back to 1.15. There we go. And so the spacing between the lines is much shorter now. So your alignment refers to how your text is arranged on the page. To the right, or maybe to the left, or is it centered on the page? So let's go ahead and we'll pick this text right here. So we'll highlight this. And we'll go to our format menu right here. And then align and indent. So this shows us where we want to align it, left, center, right. So let's go ahead and we'll say we want to center it on the right instead of on the left where it was. There we go. So now it's over on the right side of this column here. You can also use the shortcuts toolbar for this as well. We have the align and indent option here. And let's go ahead and we'll change it to center align. There we go. Your indentation refers to how your text appears in relation to these blank margins along the sides of the page. So to change your indentation from menu, let's highlight this here, our title. We go to Format and again to Align and Indent, and we can increase or decrease the indent. So let's go ahead and do increase. There we go, and it's pushed everything over to the right just a little bit. You can also do this from the shortcut menu bar here. So we just make sure we have highlighted what we would like to change. And then we have the increase indent and the decrease indent buttons right next to each other. So let's press decrease to put it back. There we go. You can also manually indent text by using the tab button on your keyboard. So if I just press tab, oh, there we go. We'll press tab right here. There we go. So that indents one line. And as you saw, if I had the entire text highlighted, it might get rid of it. So the tab button is really only used for one line at a time. And I will go ahead and decrease indent back to normal. There we go. Okay. You can also clear formatting options from the toolbar and menu. So maybe you've decided that you don't want your text to be this like red, pink, and this size. You want to start over. Let's highlight our title here and then choose Format. And then we have the option down at the bottom, Clear Formatting. That will get rid of any formatting on the text. So if we click that, let me see. Let me try this on another one here. There we go. Okay, so that will change the text if it is been formatted. So let me go ahead and find one that has been changed here. I'm going to pull up our previous document. There we go, because we know that we've done changes to these. Okay, so let me highlight just these whole lines and then do format. There we go, clear formatting. Okay, so that got rid of all of our bold, our underlining, and our different sizes. And you can also do a similar thing from the shortcuts toolbar. So if I go ahead and press undo here to get our formatting back. Okay, highlight this again, and you can see the clear formatting button here on the shortcuts toolbar, click that, and the formatting is gone. Another way to arrange your text is to create columns, as we saw sort of in the recipe document. So if we're creating columns, let's go ahead and we'll highlight just the bottom part here. And we'll choose Format and Columns. And you can choose 2 or 3 columns here, as well as additional options. So if we press 2 columns, let's see. There we go. 2 columns. There we go. Okay. And that will create 2 different columns, one on each side of the page. Are there any questions about formatting for different paragraphs? Okay. All right. So editing your document itself. Once you've created your document, you might want to do some editing, such as spelling and grammar checks. You can use find and replace to make quick edits to your document as well, or to locate specific words and phrases within a longer document. So let's go ahead and we'll press edit here and find and replace. There we go. You can also move this around the screen if you click and drag to make it easier to see your document. You can also bring up this menu with the keyboard shortcut Control and H. So we'll enter the text we want to find in the find option here. So let's say we're looking for the words sample. And then it will highlight both of the words sample here in our document. You see is highlighted in green. And so that can show us the words, but we can also replace the text. So let's say we want to replace it with the word, there we go, example. We can choose replace and it will just do one at a time as it goes through the document, finding those words, or we can click replace all to replace every single word sample with the word example. There we go. You can also use the spelling and grammar tool to check your document for common errors. So if we're done with find and replace, we can click close here. And we're going to go to tools and check spelling and grammar. There we go. As we can see, the grammar suggestions come up with a blue underline. And if we have, let's say, something spelled incorrectly, there we go, that will show up in a red underline and it will give you the option to correct. It does, you can do the spelling and grammar from the menu, but it will also come up with suggestions just as you type. And you can click these suggestions to fix the document there. You can also click to ignore them if you've decided that you don't want to take their suggestions. But we'll go ahead and click accept on this one, ignore on that one, and the lines will go away. All right. So depending on what type of document you're creating, you may want to add additional elements. Google Docs allows you to add images, tables, charts, and more to your document. So to insert an image from the menu, we can go ahead and just click on Insert right here. And then there's Image. You can choose to upload it from your computer or to search from the web. You can also pull items from your Google Drive as well if you have them uploaded there. You can also apply additional formatting to your image with the options that appear underneath it. So let's go ahead and we'll just click on upload from computer. We'll just upload this wonderful little background here. There we go. And so when you click on the image that you've uploaded, it gives you the option on how to wrap the text. So let's say we want the text to go over this image. We can click behind text. There we go. And the text will go over it, just as an example. To add from the shortcuts toolbar, that we have here, we have this little picture here for insert image. And if you just click that, it will give you the same options for uploading your image into the document. To insert a table, so let's go ahead and we'll click a couple of times here. We choose insert and we choose table. And we have the options for how large we want this table to be. So let's say it's 4 by 3. There we go. And you can just click in each cell to enter the text that you would like into the table. To insert a chart, it is very similar. So we'll go to insert, we'll go to chart, and this gives us the option of what type of chart that we would like here. So let's say we're going to do a line chart. There we go. Okay, so it has inserted a chart here. As you can see at the bottom, we've got this little pop-up that says edit in Sheets. You do have to edit your charts in Google Sheets. So you have to click in the chart, link chart options here in this top right, and choose open source to make edits to these charts. If you have an existing chart in Google Sheets, you can also import it into the document, but we're not going to go over that just yet. You can also insert various elements that make your document easier to navigate, like page numbers, headers and footers, or page and section breaks. So if we want to insert page numbers, we can go to insert, and then we have our option for page numbers here down at the bottom, and we can determine whether we'd like them on the top or the bottom. Let's go ahead and we'll pick right here. There we go. So now we have our page number here at the top of our page. You can also edit the text and what it looks like, similar to how you would for the other text in your document. To insert headers and footers, it's very similar. We'll do insert, and we're going to pick headers and footers, and let's go ahead and we'll pick a footer. There we go. We'll just type the word footer here. You can edit this text again. And you can also choose to have a different first page so that if you have any footers, such as maybe like a company logo or motto or something like that, you can have it so it doesn't show up on the first page, only the pages following. Section breaks can help format a document into various parts or sections. And page breaks insert new pages into your document. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do those. So let's say we want a new page break right here. We're going to do insert, and then we're going to pick our break right here, and specifically page break. There we go. So that takes everything from where we selected and down and moves it onto the next page. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Control and then Enter to insert a section break. So let's pick right here. We go to Insert, we go back to our break, and we do section break. And you can pick that you want it in the next page or just continuous. And that just separates it into different sections there. You can also insert a column break, which is used to split columns on text divisions. So you can find it in a similar place. If we go to our insert break and our column break here, and that, as you can see, moved our text over into the second column we have here. Are there any questions about editing or adding elements like the ones we just covered? Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and we'll move into page layout. Sometimes you need to format your overall document instead of just the text or columns. So you can do this with your page setup options. So let's look at some of those. If we go to File, we can go to Page Setup right here. Okay, and this gives us multiple options here. You can apply changes to the whole document or just to a single section right here. When you see Apply To, right now it's saying, do you just want to apply to this section, section 3, or you can pick the whole document as well. You can choose the orientation that it prints. Portrait is just upright pages. Landscape will be longer on the width than the height. You can choose your paper size if you're going to be printing it out. You can also choose your page color. Now you can only apply page color to the whole document, not individual sections. If we look at just this section, section 3, you can see that the page color option is grayed out. You can also choose your page margins. So those are the blank spaces around the edges of the page. There's a default 1-inch margin around the top, bottom, left, and right sides of the page. So we could do smaller margins, let's say on the left and right. So we'll do 0.5. 0.5. Or if you want more space, say on the top and bottom of the page, you can do wider margins for 2. We'll click OK. There we go. As you can see, there's less space here along the side, but there's more space here along the top. All right. So once you've created 1 or more documents, you might want to start organizing and collecting files. Remember, Google Docs automatically saves your work in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about saving the document. If you'd like to organize your files into folders or make copies of the documents, you need to use your Google Drive homepage. So let's go ahead and we will go to copying a file. Let's say we're within this document and we want another copy of it. We can just select File and make a copy. And then you can name the copy of your document. You can choose where you'd like to save it. And you can choose whether or not to keep any sharing features or comments with your copied document. Let's go ahead and we'll look at Google Drive right here. So let's say we want to copy our Exploring Jobs and Careers PDF. So we can select the file that we want to copy. We can right-click on that, and we can just do make a copy right here. Now that doesn't show up with the same options, but it automatically names it as copy of, and then the name of the file. All right, let's say that we do want to rename the file. So if we're inside a document here, we'll go back to our practice file. We can just click the name right here and type in whatever we'd like. And then if we click outside of the box, it just automatically saves it. If we're in Google Drive, so we'll see maybe this copy here, we don't want to have the word copy in the file. We can right click on that and just select rename. And then we can change the name from there. So maybe we'll get rid of copy of and the word exploring. And then you would just click OK to save those changes. And there we go. To move a file, if we're here on Google Drive, you can just select the file that you want to move. So we'll just select this file here. And you can drag and drop it into a folder. So we'll go ahead and we will make a folder really quickly here. So we'll go to, if we're in our document here, we'll click the folder icon, right, for move. There we go. And we have the option to make a new folder. And we can name that folder as well. So we'll just name this practice folder real quick, create. There we go. It says the folder is empty, so we'll move it here. All right, there we go. So now if we're on Drive, we can see our practice folder. So we can take our, let's say we'll take our building skills. We can click and we can drag it up to our folder, let go, and now it's inside of our practice folder. Let's say that we have a file that we would like to delete. You can just right click on the file that you would like to delete and you choose remove. You can also click on the file and click delete on your keyboard. Now that moves it into your trash. So as we can see on the left here, we have trashed items. All items in the trash are deleted forever after 30 days. Let's say we would like one of these files back though. You can find the file that you want to restore, and you can right click on it and you just choose restore. And if we go back to our drive, we can see that it is back here. You may want to sometimes restore a previous version of your file. So you may want to recover past versions because you can't undo some of the recent changes that have been made. So to see previous versions of your file, you do have to open the document. So let's go back to our practice folder here. You do want to select File and then Version History. You can name your current version to make it easier to remember what changes you've been currently doing. But we'll just click See Version History here. And over on the right-hand side, you can see the different versions of your document and what those look like. To restore a past version, you would just click on the option you want here. And then you would just click up at the top here, this button, Restore this version. As you can see, this one is very early because there is no text there. To access other options like renaming the version or making a copy of a specific version, you need to use the 3 dots to the right of the version name. So we will click on More Actions, and that gives you the option for naming and making copies. Are there any questions about page layout or organizing files? Okay. Let's see. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat, and Stephanie will let me know what you're asking about. Okay. Printing and downloading. So since Google Docs saves as you work, you always have access to the most current copy of your document when you access your files. So let's go back to our folder here. There we go. So you might, however, need to download, print, or email your document. To print your document, we can go to our menu File, and then choose Print right here at the bottom. You can view your document in the preview and adjust print options if needed. If you are printing at the library, remember that you need to choose between black and white and color printing. So I'll just press cancel here. From the shortcuts toolbar, you can just select the printer icon right here, or you can use the keyboard shortcut Control-P. To download your documents, you can also go to File and choose Download, and then choose the appropriate file type. Most of the time, you will be downloading as either a Microsoft Word or a PDF document. To email your document, we can see the option here for under File, Email, and email this file. After that, you can enter the emails that you would like to send it to. So let's just put in a fake one here. There we go. And you can list the subject of the email. You can put in a little message as well. And you can choose the file type that you're going to send it as, PDF, Microsoft Word. Those are the most common too. You can also choose whether or not to attach the file to the email that you're sending, or just to include the content that you're sending as part of the email. That will change or get rid of the option for the file type, because if it is in the email, it will just be the text in the body of the email rather than something that the person getting it can download. You can also see up at the top here, if we check this box, you can send yourself a copy of the email. And then you would click send when you have everything laid out the way you want. I'm going to head and click cancel here. Okay. There are other ways to get your documents to other people as well. Depending on the type of document you're working on, you may want to share it and collaborate with other people as well and gather feedback. So to share your document with other users, you can see this share button up at the top right. Right now it says private only to me. So if we click that, we can see the option to add people and groups to see this document. You can also choose, let's see, if we type one in, there we go. So just a pretend email here. You can choose how you would like to share your document. So if you choose to send it to them and allow them editor permissions, they can make full changes to your document. If we click this option here, we can also see commenter, which can add comments to your document, but they can't make edits to it. And then viewer can view your document, but can't make any changes at all. You can also add a personal message if desired and uncheck this box as to whether or not you would like to notify people, and then click send when you're done. However, there is another option. If we click back here, we can also choose just to copy the link to this document and give that link to people. You can choose your permissions right here. Right now it's restricted. Only people with access can open the link, so we would still need to add people. Or we can click under access, anyone with the link can view it. And you can change the permissions here as well as to whether or not anyone with the link is just a viewer or can be a commenter or editor. All right. And if we're done with that, we can just go ahead and click done. There are some additional options here and the gear icon, just for whether or not editors can also share this document, and as to whether or not viewers and commenters can download, print, or copy your document. So let's go ahead and we'll click done. Okay. Now, there are different modes for accessing a document in Google Docs. If you start a document, most likely you will start on, as we see here in our little bar, editing mode, which is used to make edits directly to the document. If you're sharing with other people, they might start, depending on what permissions you give them, on just being able to make comments. Suggest mode is used to provide suggestions. It's similar to commenting on a document. So as we can see, if we're suggesting suggestion, there we go. It shows up as a comment on the side here. So you can see both the original text and the suggested changes. And then you have the option to either accept or reject these suggestions. Viewing mode, if we look here, is just used to view the document without making any changes. Once you have shared a document, you can easily collaborate separately or in real time. Simultaneous editing means that you can have multiple users in your document making changes at once. Each user shows up in the document as their own icon. They would show up on the right here. From the currently viewing menu, you can also chat with other users. Each person will show up in the document as a separate color of cursor, and changes appear in real time as they are made. So another option to edit a document is by adding comments. Comments allow you to suggest changes, ask questions, and interact, but it doesn't actually edit what is in the document. So to insert a comment, you can see the, let me see if I can see this here. Let's see. Oh, I saw it for a moment. Aha, okay. So I've highlighted an option here, and we've got our comment history icon popping up. We can go ahead and click add a comment and add a comment for the document here. We click post comment, and then that will show up for other users to see as well. From the shortcut menu, we can just click right here, add a comment. and that is a little bit easier to find just because you don't have to highlight text to make it reliably appear. And there we go. That will show up as a comment as well. From the menu, we can click Insert, and then we can also click to add a comment here down at the bottom. You do have also several options for working with comments in your document. You can click on the comment right here, and you can type to reply in the box underneath the comment. To mention a specific user, as you can see, you can use the @ sign, and that will notify them that you're speaking with them specifically. You can also use the check mark here to mark a comment as resolved, and it removes it from the thread. And it is gone. You can use the 3 dots along the side here to access more options. So you can edit the comment that you've made, delete your comment, or you can get a link to this comment as well. You can access the comment history at any time via the icon in the top right corner. Open comment history, as you can see here. And the comments will display along the right side of the document like this. The comments will download as part of an editable document, like if you download this document as a Microsoft Word document, but they don't download as part of a PDF. So if you do want the comments, if you download this as a PDF, the comments will not show up. Are there any questions about printing, downloading, collaborating, or sharing? Okay. All right, sounds good. So let me go ahead and see if I can move this here back to our PowerPoint. There we go. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. This does conclude today's class on Google Docs. Before we go, I'd like to just share a few more library resources with you. If you have a short question you'd like library staff to answer, you may submit it online at any time using our Ask a Librarian service. A librarian will usually respond within 48 hours with the information you need. If you want more one-on-one help from one of our librarians, about 30 minutes, and the chance to go over specific questions, you can complete a Book a Librarian appointment request. Each session is tailored to your specific needs and is compatible with your schedule. Our blog, Plano Library Learns, includes book lists, program recordings, and other useful information. So you can explore more business and career resources and technology tools from the associated tabs. You can also view past programs on our YouTube channel. And remember that you can access our course handouts via the Google Drive at any time. We do also have another upcoming program on June 9th for Google Sheets, which is part of this same series here. And our program on Google Drive aired on May 5th. So feel free to go to YouTube and watch that if you would like. Do we have any final questions before we wrap up for today? All right, I don't believe so. Okay, in that case, we appreciate you being here. And please take a moment to complete our program survey, which should pop up following this program. We do value your feedback. Thank you again for joining us today, and we will see you next time.